if you have violated half the agreement, that doesn't mean that we'll just keep listening and चुपचाप तो नहीं बैठे रहेंगे.
Were you prepared for war at that stage with China?
But you cannot only observe one paragraph of the agreement and violate all others. So if you have violated all the others, then I'm free to fire. But if you are now coming with clubs studded with barbed wire, what does that mean? You violated the agreement.
There's just a small explainer that in 1993 an agreement was signed where between India and China, that neither side will use or threaten to use force against each other by any means. There was this agreement, and then there was this aggression, and they were pushing us.
So you cannot accuse me of firing when you have done all the violations. Does that mean you will come with 5,000 people and I will just keep sitting? Obviously I will fire. And that is what they were scared of. And that is the moment we opened fire, they realized that they made a mistake, and this whole gamut of this border agreement has gone to a different level altogether. But if you are now coming with clubs studded with barbed wire, what does that mean? You violated the agreement.
It was the first time that this club with wires happened?
So they have been doing that.
They've been doing
earlier. So as I said, they have been continuously violating the agreement.
Okay.
Now, if you have violated half the agreement, that doesn't mean that we'll just keep listening and चुपचाप तो नहीं बैठे रहेंगे.
There's a hot border. You have an enemy which is coming at you. How do you defend it?
So I will like to clarify, when you say no weapons, we carry weapons. It is not that weapons are not carried. But that is where our men have to exercise great restraint.
What is the weapon that that is carried, if I may ask, and where is it carried? Is it carried on the body of the soldier who's there,
Yes,
or
yes.
is
When you go for a patrol, you go totally armed and expecting the worst.
And a firearm?
Yes, a firearm. You carry your rifles, you carry your light machine guns, you carry your ammunition. You are ready to meet any eventuality.
Is there any other parallel in the world where two armies or two neighbors have decided that we will use these clubs and monkey, what is it called? Monkey web, something it is called.
So that is precisely what I'm saying. Are we hooligans? Are we mafia? Or are we a professional army? Is that the level that PLA has gone down to? Hooliganism and street fighting? Or are they a professional 21st century army? On one side, they try to show their technological prowess. On the other side, they're coming with barbed wire clubs. It is ridiculous.
In Yangtze?
Yes, it is. In fact, Yangtze is one area where the Chinese keep trying to come over across the river into the Yangtze sector. And this is not only of 2020, they try to come every year. And every year they make 2-3 such attempts to come, and they're rebuffed every time.
Okay.
Of course, from their side also, they must be having some pressure from their senior commanders that how is it that you come back every time? Or kuch karo. Press on more. Kuch karke dikhao.
Kuch karke dikhao would mean that
either crossover.
Casualties or get more land. Is that?
No,
because it's a country which is hungry for land all the time. Even though they're such a large country, they're greedy to capture
land.
Yes. Yeah.
So that is why their commanders would be pressing their people also that at least go up to our stated claim line, but we do not allow them to come even up to there. But yet year after year they keep attempting the same thing, and year after year they suffer injuries and go back. Of course, in the bargain we also suffer some injuries, but they have always been at the receiving end.
There was also that situation where we had to literally force them to give back the bodies, and we had to give from our side we had to give. What happens there in that situation at that stage?
Because once the clash has happened and temperatures have cooled down, both literally and in actual fact, then the saner counsel, of course, prevails. The clash is always in the heat of the moment. And later on, when flag meetings were held,
Between DGMOs?
no, between and on the ground.
On the ground.
On the ground, the flag meetings were held. We, of course, facilitated the flag meeting through our official channels, including the diplomatic channels. And on ground, the flag meetings were held at the place where the clashes occurred. And that is where then our men came back, were returned to us.